Good morning. My name is Paul Lazaro. I am the Assistant Director for the Office of Veteran Affairs at Rutgers-Newark. On behalf of my office, the Rutgers-University Police Department at Newark, and Institutional Planning and Operations, and the Rutgers Student Veteran Organization, I welcome you to our pre-recorded 9/11 memorial video. I invite you to join us as we reconnect, reflect, and remember. The events of September 11, 2001 are ingrained in our hearts and our minds as we strive for greater unity and increased service in our communities. The Rutgers University community lost 37 members on that day, and we will never forget them or their contributions to the university, their nation, and their communities. Today we honor their memories and their families as we move forward together in a spirit of unity and service, both to each other, our communities, and our nation. We will observe moments of silence at 8:46 a.m. and 9:03 a.m., the times when, 21 years ago, the North and South Towers of the World Trade Center were struck by hijacked airliners. In between the moments of silence, we will hear from members of the Rutgers University Newark community about their experiences on and about September 11. We will also hear a reading of two presidential proclamations that designate this day as one of remembrance, service, and prayer. Thank you. On this first observance of Patriot Day, we remember and honor those who perished in the terrorist attacks of September 11, 2001. We will not forget the events of that terrible morning, nor will we forget how Americans responded in New York City, at the Pentagon, and in the skies over Pennsylvania. With heroism and selflessness, with compassion and courage, and with prayer and hope. We will always remember our collective obligation to ensure that justice is done, that freedom prevails, and that the principles upon which our nation was founded endure. Inspired by the heroic sacrifices of our firefighters, rescue and law enforcement personnel, military service members, and other citizens, our nation found unity, focus, and strength. We found healing in the national outpouring of compassion for those lost, as tens of millions of Americans participated in moments of silence, candlelight vigils, and religious services. From the tragedy of September 11 emerged a stronger nation, renewed by a spirit of national pride and a true love of country. We are a people dedicated to the triumph of freedom and democracy over evil and tyranny. The heroic stories of the first responders who gave their all to save others strengthened our resolve. And our armed forces have pursued the war against terrorism in Afghanistan and elsewhere with valor and skill. Together with our coalition partners, they have achieved success. Americans also have fought back against terror by choosing to overcome evil with good, by loving their neighbors as they would like to be loved. Countless citizens have answered the call to help others. They have contributed to relief efforts, improved homeland security in their communities, and volunteered their time to aid those in need. This spirit of service continues to grow as thousands have joined the newly established USA Freedom Corps, committing themselves to changing America one heart at a time through the momentum of millions of acts of decency and kindness. Those whom we lost last September 11 will forever hold a cherished place in our hearts and in the history of our nation. As we mark the first anniversary of that tragic day, we remember their sacrifice, and we commit ourselves to honoring their memory by pursuing peace and justice in the world and security at home. By a joint resolution approved December 18, 2001, the Congress has authorized and requested the President to designate September 11 of each year as Patriot Day. Now therefore, I, George W. Bush, President of the United States of America, do hereby proclaim September 11, 2002 as Patriot Day. I call upon the people of the United States to observe this day with appropriate ceremonies and activities, including remembrance services and candlelight vigils. I also call upon the governors of the United States and the Commonwealth of Puerto Rico, as well as the appropriate officials of all units of government, to direct that the flag be flown at half-staff on Patriot Day. Further, I encourage all Americans to display the flag at half-staff from their homes on that day and to observe a moment of silence beginning at 8:46 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time or another appropriate commemorative time to honor the innocent victims who lost their lives as a result of the terrorist attacks of September 11, 2001. In witness thereof, I have hereunto set my hand this 4th day of September, in the year of our Lord 2002, and of the independence of the United States of America, the 227th, George W. Bush.
So what can I say about 9/11? I was a rookie police officer, fresh out of the police academy. I had just gotten off working a midnight tour, and I was home in bed when my phone rang at home. I answered the phone, and it was my aunt telling me to turn on the news. As I turned on the news, I saw the second plane hit the second tower. I didn't know what to think. I was thinking, was this real? Is this really happening? Then I picked up the phone and I called work, and they said, come in, we're going to need you. I came in, and I can remember us closing down streets leading up to University Hospital here in the city of Newark, anticipating possible patients or casualties from this horrific event. And I do remember how in the weeks past after the actual incident, how so many people came together, and how everyone as a country just came together. And, you know, I pray for the families and the victims. And I just, you know, it's something that it's always going to stick in my mind that I'll never forget.
And at this time, the names of the 37 members of our community who we lost on that day will be read and displayed as well. Paul A. Aquaveva, Evan J. Barron, David O. Campbell, Alexander H. Chang, John R. Cruz, Brian T. Cummins, Gavin F. Cushney, Michael A. Davidson, J. Cyril M. De Chavez, Michael A. Diaz Pedra III, Patrick J. Driscoll, Judy Santillin Fernandez,
Stephen J. Fiorelli, Colleen L. Fraser, Jeffrey B. Gardner, Elaine Friedenreich Gentle, Barry H. Glick, Richard J. Guarango, Charles H. Karaszewski, Brendan Mark Lang, James A. Martello, Brian E. Martineau, Michael J. McCabe, Ming Hao Liu, Virginia A. Ormiston,
Patrick J. Quigley, Dominic L. Pandolfo, John A. Perconti, Donald A. Peterson, Tom B. Reinig, Richard D. Rosenthal, Maria Theresa Santillin, Scott M. Schertzer, Neil G. Shastri, Michael C. Sarisi, Christine Marie Swierson, Gregory K. Watchler.
Hi, my name is Hinden Barreto, and I'm the president of the Rutgers Student Veterans Organization. September 11, 2001 happened when I was just 4 years old. However, I still remember the day very vividly. I was in the Philippines when our grandfather put it on the news, and I saw the towers burning. I didn't know the magnitude of what I was looking at the time, but the image is forever ingrained in my memory. It affected my father very significantly. He worked in New York City at the time when it happened and saw the towers collapse firsthand. Growing up, he always talked about his admiration of service members from the police to firemen and the military. His admiration quickly became mine, and I looked at them with the utmost respect. Service members were my heroes, not athletes, not movie stars, but service members. I wanted to be just like my heroes, that run towards the danger and protect our country. And this was the biggest reason why I decided to enlist in the U.S. military. I still think and pray for the brave men and women who lost their lives and the families who lost loved ones on this tragic day. Their heroic actions will never be forgotten. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Fabiola Lopez, a student here at Rutgers University, Newark. When 9/11 happened, I was only 1 month old. It was not an experience that I can remember the way other people can vividly describe the events that happened that day. As I grew older, every year, school made it their mission to keep the memory of those who were affected by 9/11 alive. That is when I realized the importance of this day in America. Being from the tri-state area, it hits close to home. Although I do not know anyone personally who was involved in it, I can only imagine what the families of those who were affected by this event are going through. My thoughts and prayers are with them. Entering Rutgers, I met veterans who became my closest friends and have helped me try to better myself academically and personally. The veterans at Rutgers University are very influential and driven due to their prior service. They have inspired me to join the Rutgers Student Veteran Organization in hopes of helping the veteran community.
Hello, my name is Hedy Reyes. I am an Army veteran. I spent 4 years in the military and deployed to Afghanistan during the OEF 2013-2014. I was 9 years old when 9/11 happened. I remember it very vividly. I remember getting sent home. I saw some of my teachers crying. I got home and the phones were going off like crazy. Everyone was trying to get a hold of my mom because she worked in New York City. I didn't hear from her for a couple hours, and then eventually I was able to see her after 2 to 3 days. I remember coming back to school after 9/11 and saying the Pledge of Allegiance just meant a little bit more growing up. Obviously, a lot of people, there was that sense of patriotism in America, and everyone just kind of united together. Growing up, right after high school, joined the military, obviously for reasons because of 9/11. And then while I was in there, it was the same year that they killed Osama bin Laden. So it was just so happened to be a coincidence, but I felt like I was doing my service to this country, especially after something horrific like that happened. And I continue to carry on through that, after my deployments to Afghanistan and now being a Rutgers student, just trying to relay that message, share my story, and be able to impact and help others recognize, how horrible that day was, but how we came after that, how we were stronger and better than before. So thank you.
At this time, I will read the proclamation by Barack Obama. Patriot Day and National Day of Service and Remembrance, 2013. 12 years ago, this month, nearly 3,000 innocent men and women and children lost their lives in attacks meant to terrorize our nation. They had been going about their day, harming no one, when sudden violence struck. We will never undo the pain and injustice born that terrible morning, nor will we ever forget those we lost. On September 11th, 2001, amid shattered glass, twisted steel, and clouds of dust, the spirit of America shone though. We remember the sacrifice of strangers and first responders who rushed into darkness to carry others from danger. We remember the unbreakable bonds of unity we felt in the long days that followed. How we held each other, how we came to our neighbors' aid, how we prayed for one another. We recall how Americans of every station joined together to support the survivors in their hour of need and to heal our nation in the years that followed. Today, we can honor those we lost by building a nation worthy of their memories. Let us also live up to the selfless example of the heroes who gave of themselves in the face of such great evil. As we mark the anniversary of September 11th, I invite all Americans to observe a National Day of Service and Remembrance by uniting in the same extraordinary way we came together after the attacks. Like the Americans who chose compassion when confronted with cruelty, we can show our love for one another by devoting our time and talents to those in need. I encourage all Americans to visit www.serve.gov or www.servir.gov for Spanish speakers to find ways to get involved in their communities. As we serve and remember, we reaffirm our ties to one another. On September 11, 2001, no matter where we came from, what God we prayed to, or what race or ethnicity we were united as one American family. May the same be said of us today and always. By a joint resolution approved December 18, 2001, the Congress has designated September 11th of each year as Patriot Day, and by Public Law 101-13, approved April 21st, 2009, the Congress has requested the observance of September 11th as an annually recognized National Day of Service and Remembrance. Now, therefore, I, Barack Obama, President of the United States of America, do hereby proclaim September 11, 2013 as Patriot Day and National Day of Service and Remembrance. I call upon all departments, agencies, and instrumentalities of the United States to display the flag of the United States at half-staff on Patriot Day and National Day of Service and Remembrance in honor of the individual who lost their lives on September 11, 2001. I invite the governors of the United States and the Commonwealth of Puerto Rico and interested organizations and individuals to join in this observance. I call upon the people of the United States to participate in the community service in honor of those our nation lost, to observe this day with appropriate ceremonies and activities, including remembrance services, and to observe a moment of silence beginning at 8:46 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time to honor the innocent victims who perished as a result of the terrorist attack of September 11, 2001. In witness whereof, I hereunto set my hands this 10th day of September, in the year of our Lord 2013, and of the dependence of the United States of America, the 213th. Thank you.